nature.
يعني البحار
The desire to explore and better understand the Earth is as old as human culture. The farther we journey and the more we learn, the more we depend on maps to keep track of our environment. Maps reflect the way we perceive and organize our world. We update them and upgrade our map-making technology all the time. Long ago, ancient navigators worked without maps as we know them. On the water, they relied on the sun and stars to determine their location. As the winds and currents pushed their ships along, judging their position was difficult. Travelers on land used major landmarks instead, taking note of these sites on their way. The ancient Greeks were among the first to apply science to map-making. They realized that the Earth was a sphere and calculated its circumference. They also established an early system of longitude and latitude. Latitude is a measure of how far north or south of the equator we are. By observing the sun's angle, explorers could figure out their position. In the Arctic, for instance, a navigator observed that at high latitudes, the sun was relatively low on the horizon at noon, even in the middle of the summer. Longitude is a measure of our east-west position. To determine that location, navigators used to rely on clocks that kept the time of the home port. By comparing the height of the sun at a given time to the height at home port, sailors could tell how far east or west they sailed. The 15th century became known as the Age of Exploration. A few daring Europeans braved the unknown in search of riches, resources, and adventure. By this time, navigators had more tools at their disposal. They used maps of the ancient scientist Ptolemy, crude compasses, and a device known as an astrolabe. This instrument helped navigators determine latitude at any time of day or night. As the Europeans conquered new lands and explored new territories, maps became increasingly detailed. Today, we can't imagine our lives without important mapping tools. Aerial photography, satellites, and computers have made it so much easier to chart the Earth and distribute the information.
هي زي ما شفنا كده ده عباره عن يعني تطور الفكر البشري لموضوع اهميه تحديد الاماكن. بس
شكرا جزيلا دكتور يسري على مشاركتك معنا، حاليا هو فعلا عنده سفر وحرص انه يشاركنا. شكرا جزيلا لحضرتك وفي سلام الله ونشوفك بخير ان شاء الله. شكرا جزيلا، مع السلامه.
في الحقيقه احنا اتكلمنا على التطور الموجود واتكلمنا على كيفيه تحديد المكان من خلال منظومه اقمار صناعيه، وزي ما بنقول ان احنا بنحدد المكان من خلال 3 اقمار والرقم القمر الرابع بيديني البعد الرأسي. ده بيديني يعني فكره مبسطه عن كيفيه عمل النظام. نتفرج على الموف تاني برضه اللي هو بيكمل موضوع الاقمار الصناعيه وازاي بتستخدم في التحديد.
At heart, we're all data points, glued by gravity alone to the surface of a great globe. You could get lost unless you know exactly, precisely where you are. Now there's one sure way to do that. GPS, a satellite system with ground operations based in Colorado.
GPS stands for a Global Positioning System. It is a space-based radio navigation system consisting of 24 satellites. They orbit at 10,900 nautical miles, and they transmit a signal to users which allows them to determine their precise location on the surface of the Earth 24 hours a day, all weather.
24 GPS satellites, are constantly sending down latitude and longitude and altitude info to the people holding GPS receivers. This information is collected by the GPS receiver, which then translates the data into a specific location on the surface of the globe. No one ever has to be lost again. GPS technology was developed by the military as an aid to soldiers and their commanders. But today, anyone can use GPS. GPS maps are perfect for tracking ambulances, boats, and aircraft. They're also used extensively in mapping the surface of the globe.
Satellites are almost like a set of eyes, but these eyes can see in places where the human eye can't see.
If I go to a medical doctor and he checks my chest with an X-ray machine, that is remote sensing. If we have a satellite that looks toward the Earth, takes a picture, and we interpret this picture, that is remote sensing.
Once your satellite's in orbit, it's a space platform, where the best thing you can do is hang instruments to collect data. Satellites are capable of scanning large surfaces of the globe. They can collect images by taking photographs, scanning with radar and lasers. They also can pinpoint exact locations using GPS technology, enabling scientists